Okay, so as I was saying, digestion starts at the mouth, and it starts with mechanical digestion. You do not need to use that term, but you need to know what it means. Mechanical digestion means you're physically breaking the food down. And in your mouth, it's your teeth that do it. It's your teeth that chew the food. So that's what we're talking about in terms of mechanical digestion. That's the start of it. It increases surface area. Now, that's a little bit of chemistry. In chemistry, we increase surface area to increase the rate of reaction. Within your spit, in your saliva, is an enzyme called amylase. Now, you need to know this. Amylase breaks down starch into maltose. If something ends in the term ase, it means it's an enzyme. If something ends in the term ose, it's a sugar. Maltose is a sugar. So you have to be very careful with that because some people think, even within year 12 and 13, that starch is broken down into glucose. It's not. It's broken down into maltose. And then what you do is, without knowing it, you shape your food into a bolus, a ball. Now you don't have to call it a bolus, I just like Latin names. And then you squish it down and swallow it. It goes in your esophagus, and that's a tube, what people call a food pipe, and that's a technical word, esophagus. That connects your mouth, your buccal cavity. I love that term, buccal cavity for your mouth. And you push and squeeze the food into your stomach. And this has a really cool word for it, where your food pipe is squishing the food into your stomach, and it's called peristalsis. All right. Now, in your stomach, we continue with mechanical digestion. That was the bit last week where we talked about your stomach muscles squishing and churning your food. However, now we're adding more information to it. You contain in your stomach the enzyme protease. Ase means an enzyme, protein. So proteases break down protein. That is the start of chemical digestion in your stomach. Actually, the earliest part of chemical digestion is amylase in your mouth. Now, you also produce hydrochloric acid. That kills bacteria. It is really, really potent. After your stomach, it goes into your small intestine. The first part of that is called the duodenum. Right? That's where your food, now it's coming out your stomach, it's full of acid. You want to neutralize it. And you have things like bile salts that neutralize that acid. You have bile salts that neutralize that acid. Okay? Because that acid is so strong in your stomach, it's going to start attacking your small intestine. So it makes it slightly alkaline. Right, so you're talking about pH 8, pH 9. Pure water, which is neutral, is a pH of 7. All right. After it goes to your duodenum, it goes to your ileum. And this is where your body absorbs all those products of digestion. Now comes to the fun part. Your large intestine, the making of poop. All right, your large intestine makes poop. All right. It takes out all the water, squishes everything you could not digest. That's like fiber in fruit and vegetables, and it creates poop. Right? It's stored in your rectum and eventually pops out through your anus. Now, that's the whole journey that you need to know. You need to know what the pancreas does. The pancreas is an organ which we find here. There's your pancreas down there. And it produces 3 types of digestive enzymes: amylase, protease, and lipase. Amylase to break down starch into maltose, protease to break down proteins, and lipase to break down lipids. Right? The pancreas creates this alkali fluid to raise the pH. Okay. Now, finally, you look at your liver. It produces bile salts. Right? They emulsify lipids into smaller droplets. Okay, that's a lot of writing. Believe it or not, that's not as much as there is in a textbook. There's a lot of it. And to learn it, you've got to reduce the amount of text. So I started that here with my mouth. It's for mechanical digestion. As you can see, my spelling there is atrocious. That's my typing. So what I need to know about the mouth is mechanical digestion, chewing. It creates amylase, which breaks down starch. I should really correct all these. Into maltose. And that's all I need to know. That's all I'm going to write. Okay. Now, your esophagus. So if you see I'm going in order, I've gone from the mouth to the esophagus. The esophagus is the technical name for your food pipe, and that pushes food from your mouth to your stomach. All right. The next bit, the stomach is mechanical breakdown. Hydrochloric acid is produced and protease for protein digestion. So how a card cover works, and you've got to do it 5 times, it doesn't work the first time. You cover it, you think, right, I wonder what the first one said. It starts in the mouth. Now I know this because I've done this a trillion times. It's mechanical digestion. Oh, I can't remember what else it is. And then you pull it down. You think, right, amylase to break down starch to maltose. What's the second one? That was esophagus. Well, that pushes my food down. And I know the term is peristalsis. And there you go. You're going to get it wrong the first 3-4 times you do it. By the 5th time, so you do it 3 times, you go back and you repeat it until you get it right. Okay? And you repeat it about 5 times. Now, I've only gone as far as the stomach. You need the small intestine and the large intestine, the pancreas and the liver. That's your task. After you've done that, there are some questions here. Okay? That's what you're doing. Okay. Now, I will convert, there's a couple of people who I'll convert the intro into a video and then drop it on here. All right. As you can see, lots of work there that people have done. I'm just going to make some copies of this. Please make sure your name is really big next to your work. So I kind of zoom out to here and I move around and I look at your work and zoom down to here and drag across. Okay. All right. So let's stop sharing that screen. Let's give you, I should really stop recording first, shouldn't I?